Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistl, May 4th. And you know what today is?
My baby's B-Day.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, Maddie.
Yeah, big 9.
God, Lord have mercy.
9 going on 19.
Jeez Louise, 9. Hot damn.
Yeah, it's been some time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one of those parents that say, oh, time's flying. You know me. Every day is a long day for me, so I just appreciate the time I've been able to spend with my child.
You can't say that I can. Damn, yeah. Time does fly. Jeez Louise, that's how I remember how we bringing it an end of card game.
Yep.
That
the alumni game.
The alumni game. Her running around with me chasing her. And I'm like, geez, look.
Yeah, man.
She ain't that small no more.
Yeah, man. I would just say, you know, the cool thing about having no siblings is all my friends are like brothers. So, and I got a few sisters out there. We don't hang out that much, so they married and stuff. So, you know. It's all good though.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's facts. That's facts. You know. Also tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. Excuse me, I can't even talk right now.
That's you know, it's like 2 holidays for me.
Yeah.
Got my baby's B-Day, and then you know we slide right into Happy Drink Day.
Oh yeah. Well, you'll definitely see us over there at Stefani's tomorrow at some point before they close. So we'll see that. But let's get into these NBA playoffs, which I would say have been very, very fire. These playoffs have been fire. They've been exciting. Had some great games. Some good games last night again. First, the Celtics with the bounce back game, because once again, you know, people like to overreact after one game because they think the Bucks completely dominated that first game. But then when you look at it, it was just like they couldn't make no shots that first game. They had all the shots that they usually make. Then things weren't just falling, and it wasn't like the Bucks really like dominated because they did a good job on Giannis. Granted, he had a triple-double, but they made him work in that first game, and they made him work this game. I don't know if you saw the clip at one point in this game. This is how I knew they made Giannis work, because he was over there breathing hard as on the sideline at one point. I'm just like, oh, these dudes, all they had to do was make shots, because it wasn't like the Bucks are head and heels better than them.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's shown in game 2 that the Bucks rely heavily on Giannis, and when there's no Giannis, they have to figure out a formula for success. Mm-hmm. But game 1, no, it's just, you know, Bucks just played better. They rebound. They had a couple more rebounds, you know what I mean? Yeah. 1 more assist, a few less turnovers. Their biggest thing, though, their points in the paint and their fast break points. Yeah. So in game 2, the Celtics minimized that situation, that problem as a whole. Yeah. And the way they were shooting in game 2 was, as you see, record-setting made shots.
Franchise record. Mm-hmm. And also what you got to look at is the other guys for the Bucks, because Drew Holiday, he had 25 game run. Bobby Portis, he had 15. Like those kind of were the differences if you really dissect that game. And it didn't help that the Celtics' second best player had probably one of the worst playoff games of his career. And what do you do after you have a horrible game? You bounce back and have a game like he did last night. I just like, you know, this guy, I've been critical of him the past couple of years, Grant Williams, but he's made such. I ain't seen none of this coming. I ain't seen none of it. To be honest, not the offense, because I figured he'll probably get better at that, because he's going to have those wide open shots all the time. I figured at some point he's probably going to make it. And if he doesn't, it's like, well, but it's the defense for me, because he really just be D'ing up and making guys work.
Wasn't he SEC Player of the Year in Tennessee?
I think.
His senior year?
I think so. It was either him or his teammate, but I know one of them.
What was it, Schofield or something like that? He was one of the best players in the country, you know, he playing with Tennessee. And one thing I was telling Mac, I went and checked out McKenzie yesterday, his body type doesn't allow him to do certain things you expect him to do in the league. He's a heavy guy, so yeah, he can be an undersized big, but he's not an athletic big. He's not going to be dunking on you, so he has to make those shots outside just to make him effective out there. And that's what I seen early in the season. I know you're like, why are you shooting those? I'm like, he's making a couple, you know, let him get in the flow of things to be a little more efficient. Now, did I think he'd be a knockdown shooter? Nah, but nobody thought Horford be knocking threes down this either. Horford's like one of the best shooters on the team. Yeah. So, you know, when you have bigs that can stretch the floor out that well, hopefully they stay consistent.
Yeah.
So
knockdowns. Yeah, that I ain't see that coming at all. No way at all. Here's my biggest thing with that I don't like. I like Giannis as a player, but here's the biggest thing I completely can't stand with him. How they just let him run people over consistently and never call a charge or nothing. And then dudes will do it on the other end, and they'll be quick to call the charge. They're
only gonna let that. I feel like they're only gonna let that slide for a couple more years because the same complaint about Harden drawing fouls and doing certain things was a complaint for multiple years, and he was very effective at it. And then they kind of made certain rules that made him less effective. So hopefully, like for one, you have to make sure your plays are safe. So. Giannis got to get some moves. I don't care what you say. The man got no moves. Like, the man's an outstanding player, great talent, physically dominant, but he has no moves. There's no reason why you should be running people over.
Yeah, that's just my biggest issue.
And he's going to get injured doing these things.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to get around people and shift people. You don't you just run through people.
And it's not like he's bodying them, like, oh, that's your presence. No, he's literally just dipping his shoulder in, extending his arms, and they're just like, they just watch it and don't call nothing. I'm just like, even Stan Van Gundy was getting annoyed with all that.
But another thing is, if he doesn't do that, how effective will he be? You know what I'm saying? That's like a big part of his game. And if he doesn't, he can't just turn it off in the playoffs. So if he so if they start calling that, the Bucks might be out in the next 3 games.
They need to call a couple of them because they'd be like, yo, this dude just, he should have 6 fouls right now, just on offensively. But that's my little rant of the day. But yeah, game 3 is until Saturday.
I don't understand the schedule.
Me either. Because I just remember back in the day, the most they probably get is 2 days. You get 2 days, but this whole a 3-day, okay. Well, granted, it helps the Celtics because Brown, he's got a hamstring issue, and Smart, he's out, so it'll help those guys. But still, it's just this is a time off.
And it's momentum.
Yeah.
Like when you got that much time off, it's kind of like a standstill. The momentum's balanced now. You just had a great game too. Yeah, 1 day off, 2 days off, and get back at it. Now, I don't know how the Celtics are going to come out now.
Yeah, seriously. And one thing I'll say about this series is the Bucks, their whole game plan on defense is we're going to give you all the 3-point shots that you want to take. That's it. We're going to give them to you. You're not getting in the paint. So I think the Celtics need to find a way to get more points in the paint and cut down the 3-pointers just a little bit. Right? They cut it down by 7 this game after shooting 50 the first game, but they need to cut it down to in 30s or something. Get some mid-range.
Also, too, what's his name? Derek
White.
Yeah, he can't have a game like that again. We need him. He's a vital piece in the success of the Celtics. He's kind of why the Celtics have turned it around. So we need him to play.
Yeah, he needs to get his offense going or something. But series is tied 1-1. I think the series might is going to go to distance. So it's good for them to go split game 1. So hopefully they can steal a game in Milwaukee. All right, probably the Warriors and the Grizzlies, that's 2 crazy games that they've played. Ja went crazy in the 4th quarter, but I got some issues with this game, how it turned out late in the game.
Which one? Which game?
The Warriors and
the second game or the first one?
The first second.
Okay.
The second one. No, the first one. The second one.
Right.
My biggest issue was it's tied 101. It's a loose ball. Ja flops, and they call an offensive foul on Draymond.
That was awful. That was
an egregious call right there. Because as a referee, at some point you got, especially if it's a loose ball, you got to hold that whistle. Especially when the game's tied, you can't make that call. Plus, they were in the bonus too, so they got 2 free throws out of it. That kind of decided the game.
That would have happened to me. They would have said, "Man, you just lighting the ass." The way he flew like that, come on, bro. Draymond didn't even lift an elbow.
Right.
He just went for the ball. It just so happens he has more meat on his bones than you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are the star for your team and your home, so you exaggerated the little contact and you got the foul, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is definitely ridiculous.
As much as they let them play, for you to call those things, and he wasn't even going for the ball. His back was turned, so it's like, what are we doing here?
That's my biggest thing, because I think that kind of decided the game late because they gave him 2 free throws right there, and it was at that point it was just really in the tight contested game. And then I don't know how you thought about this, but I said this after it happened. I was like, because I said it was a flagrant 2 on Dillon Brooks just because of the way things going. But I was like, Dillon Brooks commits some of the dumbest fouls I've ever seen. He got basketball IQ like he plays for the T-Wolves, because all his fouls are always dumb. And you know, as a basketball player, you know if you're going to be able to block a shot or not. He like straight up just went for the head, like the wind up and stuff. You know, because sometimes when people know they can't block it, they just attempt and act like they're going to block it. You know, they go up, you know, just swipe at the ball like that. Like he go, full wind up and hit him in the head, cause the dude elbow injury and all that.
He's from Canada, right? He's Canadian? Well, you know, I don't try to understand your thought process from another country. Yeah. But like Kenny Smith said, that's lack of experience. But nah, he's played the game long enough to know that you're not gonna get that. You know at some point, like, all right, high school I can get there, college I might get there, in the league you're not getting that.
Especially if you're not a shot blocker.
Exactly, and you're not that athletic. So like, sometimes you gotta just give it up.
You give up the 2, or just act like do a hustle, act like the hustle, and act like you were gonna block it, but you know he's gonna score. Cause look at everything that happened after that. He hurts his elbow. I think it's a fracture now. He might be done for the series. You don't know, not sure for that, but elbow injuries.
Yeah, and Kenny and them said it too. Like the whole no layup rule in the playoffs. We totally understand that, but the NBA is a fraternity. Yeah. For one, basketball at whole is a fraternity. We might not all talk to each other, but we all know each other or know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Yeah. Like, that's how a basketball world is. And you never want to injure somebody. You never want to be the reason why somebody can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Especially at that level.
Yeah.
Especially when you could have refrained from it. Especially when you know you wasn't gonna get there.
And it's 3 minutes into the game.
The game just started like
y'all are like up 6-0. It's early in the game.
And I don't like how they try to compare that to Draymond. Yeah. Draymond pulled down and pulled his jersey, but still try to soften the blow. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got a jersey, you got to soften the blow. Granted, you're going to pull him down regardless. You pull the jersey. That was just unnecessary. Really unnecessary. Granted, it happens. It all happened. It happened to us all in life. It happens. People think they can get there and can't get there. Yeah. But at that level, you know what you can and can't do. Like, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I always say, like, no, he's notorious for just committing dumb fouls like that.
He plays hard. He plays very hard to the point that he looks out of control. Yeah. Like, one thing I say about him and Clay, they're great defenders. They play hard. Clay's a hack artist. I don't care what y'all tell me. He's a great defender, but he's a hacker.
But that man he knows his limits.
Oh no, definitely. But he's always in foul trouble. You know what I mean? But Brooks, he just plays so hard. Sometimes he looks out of control, and he might not be. He just plays so hard. Yeah. And at that level, when you're not that athletic and you might not be as skilled as some of the guys you're playing against, you have to be like Patrick Beverly or Brooks. You got to play balls to the wall because you're not as talented as some of the guys around you. Yeah. And
with that said, this game, the Grizzlies keep getting Ja went nuts. He just went nuts. They couldn't stop him, and this is what happens when your best defender pretty much is out for the game. This is because he made those guys look old and couldn't keep up with him. But for all that, the Grizzlies barely won this game, and these guys probably didn't even play that well. Because it was that point the Grizzlies took a 10-point lead, and I'm like, okay, these guys probably going to blow out. And then they started doing dumb stuff. Warriors regained the lead, had the chance to pretty much seal the game late, but then they didn't. It was just like they really had to get a crazy performance.
You want to know why I'm not worried about the Warriors? Because the Warriors had 60 points in the paint to 42 by Memphis. Game 1, they had 12 more points in the paint. Since when have they been known to have more points in the paint than any team they play against? And
they put 4 guards out there.
And Clay shot like basura. Yeah. Straight trash. Yeah. So for the Warriors to have more points in the paint than you, and they're predominantly 3-point shooting team, and Memphis is not. Yeah. I don't know. You got to play excellent the next 3-4 games.
Yeah, pretty much. The Grizzlies, they do a lot of dumb stuff too, like dumb stuff that except.
And I got some other stats for you. The Grizzlies had 13 steals to the Warriors 6, and 6 blocks to the Warriors 2, and you only win by 5. Still.
Only win by 5. Got that call in a tied game that was able to give you the lead and make you extend it. So it was like you squeaked out this victory. Granted, the Warriors squeaked out game one, but it was also from their experience. Because once again, the Grizzlies gave them too many chances at open threes late in that game.
And the Warriors in game two shot 18% from the three. When's the last time they shot 18% in a half?
Yeah.
So for a game,
yeah.
Memphis better figure it out. And too, the Warriors won that game one off experience and off experience. Yeah. You're right. I was gonna say something, but I was you right on the head.
You can't give teams like that too many wide open chances, because I think they gave him like 3 down the stretch when they were up, when the Grizzlies were up 116-114. I mean, they gave Steph like 2, then they gave Clay another one, and then
that's
Clay
another thing that bothered me though. They was jacking.
Oh yeah.
They was just they was shooting like they were down by 10 with a minute to go.
Yeah.
You got more points in the paint. Get a layup. Yeah. Granted, they do collapse on you guys very quickly. Like all 5 be in the paint ready, but that's when you kick out.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I mean, granted, Andrew Wiggins, he caught a body last night.
Oh yeah, he did.
He caught. Yeah, but he's got to make those 3-pointers that he's getting, because they were wide. He's getting a lot of wide open looks. He's got to knock those down. And also, you got to give credit to their bench, Clark and Williams, for coming out giving them 24 points between the two of them. You don't know how well bench players play on the road, but it was good for them to get that. But now let's see how you're going into the loudest place in the NBA.
Yeah, and Ja just needs more help, because without him and Jaren Jackson, nobody really puts double figures up consistently.
Then that's another one, hack artist.
Jaren Jackson?
Yeah. Lead leader in blocks, but he fouls out a lot.
Yeah,
he fouls out a lot. He needs to stay in the game, because they need his shooting.
Like, granted, when you're a defender, you're gonna have fouls.
Yeah.
But it's all about how consistent you foul. You know what I mean? Like, you should know,
Yeah, because we know all the great defenders, they never foul out.
No, but they do get in foul trouble at times. But they know how to handle it.
Yeah, definitely. But this series is one exciting series. So both games so far has been crazy. So they tied 1-1, and we'll talk about this for a little bit. But Embiid broke his face, and they just look like a team without their MVP caliber player on there. Because man, it was just from the tip off, it was bad.
It's looking like Embiid broke his face, and murder was the case. That's what it's looking like right now for the Heat. I'm a Heat fan, so Heat and Celtics. So And I'll be honest, I meant to say last show, the Heat remind me of one of the best put together college basketball teams, bro. They don't really have a superstar.
No 5-star recruit.
Yeah,
right?
but they got some great guys, some great 4-3 stars. You know what I mean? They nice. They just a well put together team.
Yeah, because if you look at it, what they can do to Harden. My thing with the Heat is they put you in basketball hell with all their switches. First, you might start off with Jimmy Butler on you. Then you have Bam on you. Then you have PJ Tucker on you. And this is all about switches. So you switch from one guy to another, and it's just like, granted, it was hell for Trae Young because he's so small. It's hell for James Harden because he's kind of all those years of carrying Houston is catching up to him.
I don't know. I still think he has that in him. I just think he has to reprogram. I think he has to reprogram his brain. When you've been a facilitator for 2-3 years, you kind of just get in that mode. My prime example, J.R. Smith. Great all-around player. But people know him as really only a shooter because he was in that role for so long that he didn't really have to work on nothing else. You kind of lose it. So I think he still has it. It's just now that Embiid's completely out, he has to just put that thing up 25, 30 times.
Yeah, and he's going to need to do that in tonight's game because, granted, Tobias Harris gave him 27 points. They need Harden to give him at least 30.
Yeah, I don't see Maxey being consistent in the playoffs just because he's young. With youth. But Tobias Harris knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He needs to be consistent. I don't know what happened to him this season.
It's just Tobias Harris. He's just one of those players.
Makes sense. And Harden needs to go back to being Harden.
Yeah, he needs to go back to that game against the closeout game against the Raptors. It's just I saw, okay, I'm going to take it to the cup. I'm a step back. He had it in that game. I think he could only do that now in spurts, just cause his body, man. It's just he never healthy when the season starts. So it's he's always trying to get back in a healthy way throughout the season. So it's kind of it catches up to you.
And I don't know who you're gonna beat shooting 18% from the three.
As we saw from the Warriors game.
Right, it's just tough. Like,
it is tough. But crazier things has happened. If somehow Philly's able to steal a game,
but
good for them.
They might steal one, but they better fit Embiid for a mask. Because the Heat had 15 offensive rebounds, 52 points in the paint to your 46.
Yeah.
You have no, other than Embiid, you have no inside presence.
You got 12 rebounds just sitting on the sideline. 12 rebounds per game just sitting on the sideline. It's good. And it's kind of like, I feel bad for Embiid too. It's like he can never catch a break when it feels like, all right, this might be the year they make a run at it, and then this happens. They had that year they could have made a run at it, and then one of the craziest shots in NBA history, the craziest bounces in NBA history happened. So it's kind of like, he can't catch a break.
And all these teams, like, this is a good playoff.
Yeah.
Right? Overall, these games would have all been good if Embiid didn't break his face.
Yeah.
But hopefully they can fit him for a mask, put some padding around half his face or something.
Yeah, put a mask on that, man.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He got to play.
Definitely. All right, and then the last game, this was Monday night, Game 1, Mavericks and Suns. I think this one is probably going to go 6 or 7 games, just because I think we all know Phoenix is the best team and best all-around team. But the Mavericks, one thing I'll say about them, they put up a fight. They always put up a fight. This one was kind of hard because Luka had to take over because Jalen Brunson was in foul trouble for so much. So it was kind of hard for them. But the thing that happened in this game, they fell behind early and they were playing catch up the whole game.
Game was over at 9-0. Seriously. Like, seriously, go on YouTube, people. Go watch the first half of the game. First quarter of the game. Game was over by the first quarter.
Yeah, they got within 2 at one point. But
they didn't have a lead one time. Game was over.
That was the problem. Once you fall behind early.
Like, they was down by 2 at one point. I blinked, they was down by 15-10. Like, it was just like.
The thing with Phoenix is they always had a response for each Maverick run. So the Mavericks would come down, because they were knocking down threes, bringing it down. Even Kleber was knocking down threes, and then it was just like, all right, 8 straight points for Kleber. Phoenix.
They have to start Kleber just because Powell's not giving you anything, and he's not that offensive type of player.
I thought Powell came off the bench. I didn't know he was a starter.
He used to come off the bench.
I didn't know he was starting.
Yeah, me either. And then Phoenix looks fresh. Mm-hmm. Phoenix looks like, I don't know what they're doing in that facility. You know, the Shaq credited them, helping him get his career back, get his body right. But Phoenix look great.
Yeah.
I do not like Dallas's makeup. I told you, they done clean house for Luka.
Yeah,
and he's showing that he needs help because you see his body's falling apart, leg hurt. So he goes to dunking now with 2 hands. It's like, bro, he just has too much usage for me. Too much usage, and he doesn't have the role players. And I'll tell you one thing they're missing is Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, they need his shooting.
He is what they're missing.
Yeah, they need his shooting. Because look, you're gonna get combined maybe 50 points from Brunson and Luka. 50-55, they're both gonna give you like 20 plus points.
Luka give you 30.
Luka give you 30. Brunson, when he's actually on the court, he'll give you some. It's just who's gonna be that third guy, because it's been like in that first round, that third guy was either Finney Smith, it was either Bullock, or Tim Hardaway. That's his spot right there.
But they really have no bigs.
No,
Kleber's cool.
Yeah, they don't.
Powell, I don't know what Powell does. He used to be good. So like. What you gonna do with Ayton?
They gotta make it for a good team. They just missing a few pieces, mainly bigs and that consistent third option.
But the big situation when you got the Suns rebounding 51 to 36.
Listen, man.
And then you got Chris Paul, who's an Hall of Fame point guard, 27 to 6 to 16. And they only turn the ball over 10 times?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, these Suns are going to be a hard team to beat, especially when all their starters has got scoring in double figures. And then you got Cam Johnson, one of the biggest up-and-coming players in the league, giving you 17 off the bench. Because Cam Johnson, nobody even knew if he was going to make it to the league like his last year out of North Carolina. And he's turning out to be a good pro and a good rotation guy for these guys. So Phoenix, they've been the best team all year long. And they play consistent.
And they're a great free throw shooting team. The man shot 100% last game.
Oh, they ain't miss?
No.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
They ain't miss.
Like
18 for 18. Jeez.
They ready to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat them. If you beat them, then they probably had one of the worst games that they have. But yeah, this team is gonna be hard to beat. So we got some game 2s tonight. Game 3s coming up Friday and Saturday. Yeah, the NBA is in a good space because now they're not focusing all their attention on. Well, they see that they don't need to focus all their attention on one guy with all these stars coming in because the league was so LeBron driven for all those years that they've missed so many other guys that were coming in the league.
And it's crazy because the league should never been that way.
Yeah, even when Jordan was around, granted Jordan was playing the Bills, but they had focuses on like other players and teams and stuff like that.
Remember, at least one player from each team had a signature shoe. That tells you enough. There's only like 5-6 guys in the league with signature shoes now.
Yeah.
That people actually buy.
Yeah.
We can make a list of next week.
Yeah, man. But for so many people that were so worried about how the NBA is going to go post LeBron, it's going in the right direction because there's so many. I think we've got like 6, 7.
But why do they talk about this like he's the ultimate winner?
Yeah, because the league. I read something that said because the league was so hand-bitten on making it about LeBron since after that crazy year he had, I think after like that 09 or 08 season, after that crazy year, and they saw the ratings and just like the draw that he had, so they just focused their attention on him. It was like,
but usually like you get the attention when you start doing positive things in regards to winning. People wonder why Jordan had that spotlight. He was the ultimate winner in the time he was playing. Yeah. But we also got people that covers missed dunks nowadays like it's something of importance. Like John Moran got some of the most amazing missed dunks. But you think I care?
Right,
No.
Right.
They don't matter. They missed. Next. Shouldn't even see them again.
Facts. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Going to quickly talk about NFL before we get to No Huddle Athletes Corner. All right, NFL draft happened Thursday through Saturday or Sunday, whatever. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. But here's some of those crazy things that happened. Tennessee Titans traded one of their best receivers to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have no idea why. Well, they didn't want to pay the guy.
And Tannehill ain't throwing too much.
Yeah. I'll say this before we get there. I'll say this about the difference between hoopers and football players. Hoopers, they don't mind helping out guys that are coming into the league or that are behind them that play the same position.
It's about helping the next generation.
Right? Football quarterbacks especially, if another quarterbacks get drafted, this dude, Ryan Tannehill, in his press conference yesterday talking about, it's not my job to mentor the young quarterback. Like,
you know what it is? Remember how we talk about how basketball was such a transcending sport, how it kind of pushes the envelope and makes people change how they look at things? Football doesn't. Football is still back in the past. We already talked about that. And too, it's like we want the sport to be in a good space.
Yeah.
You know how many haters are right with football?
What kind of hater you have to be to be like naughty? What kind of hater you have to be to not wanting to help somebody that's just coming into the league to help them figure out how to stay in the league just because they play the same position as you? You're not that good to be talking about. It's not my job to be mentoring it.
So you might have nailed something on the head. He ain't that good. So you're not that good. Why would you want to mentor somebody that's probably gonna be better than you? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you sound like a hater.
Definitely. Even Brett Favre did the same thing when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. Well, it's like you never heard Brady. We've never heard Brady say something. Granted, Brady takes all the snaps and all that, but all his backup quarterbacks, they got nothing but good things to say about their experience when they came in to the league and had to back him up. It's just like some of you football players, y'all need to stop being haters.
But you know what they say though. Everybody want to be a hooper. I've never heard someone say everybody want to play football.
Yeah, and for the Titans, you're gonna trade away your best wide receiver, and now you're gonna have Ryan Tannehill look like Granted, they still got Derrick Henry, but your quarterback's not that good for y'all to just be trading away your best wide receiver. And now for the Eagles end, Jalen Hurts, there have been questions about his accuracy and all that.
I mean, give him a chance to throw the ball.
Accuracy can change when you have a guy you can just throw it wherever and he can catch it. Hence, the guy in Buffalo. Probably one of the worst accuracies. They got him a guy that he could just throw it anywhere and he'll catch it. So maybe this will help Jalen Hurts because, man, they've been so iffy on him, but you got him a number one wide receiver. Let's see how
My
it
thing
goes.
is, he should be iffy on y'all. As a franchise, you guys suck. Like, at least he has, like, chances. He has time to improve. What are y'all going to improve in? Get the same brain, tomorrow as you do today. Like, what are you talking about?
And then in other NFL news, the Ravens traded Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, to the Cardinals, which he's been requesting this trade because he felt like the Ravens system didn't fit him, but it was my thing. But the dude always dropping passes.
True, but the Ravens system only fit one person. That's Lamar Jackson.
But you gotta catch it. It does, but still, Lamar Jackson made a point to try to get you as many catches as you can. You'll be dropping them.
His name Hollywood. Got them shades on. Can't see nothing. No, I don't know.
This ties into our next topic. So, but you got the Cardinals got a little quarterback and another little receiver. Marquise Brown's only like 5'9", 5'10". Yeah, he's a slot guy, and then their quarterback's like.
Bro, I wouldn't even know a football wide receiver if he walked by me.
So,
unless he's like a taller one.
So this ties in with the other thing. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for 6 games for apparently PEDs. He says he's gonna get to the bottom of this because I don't know what he was putting in his body.
Bro, he's this big. What PED he talking about? Vitamins? Flintstone kids? Like, the man is not a big guy.
I don't know what PED, I don't know what supplements he was putting in his body. I don't know if he read the fine print or nothing, or it was on the ban list. Because the league does have a ban list of supplements that.
But, we talked about this. Stop going to your local physician. Stop going to your family doctor. Go to the team doctor, man, and just show him whatever you got. And just tell him. If it's illegal, don't tell nobody. I'm sure he ain't going to tell nobody. But.
Or just go to the team doctor and ask him, what can I take? And what can I not take that'll help me? Because, he's definitely been to some injuries, but there's easier. I get you. I don't understand how these guys get caught up because you got so many resources to help you not to get caught up. And it's like,
bro, they care about you. You build a camaraderie. You build a rapport with these people. If you tell them don't say nothing, they ain't gonna say nothing. Like they gotta look out for you in your organization. Now you tell another team, oh, you getting ratted on. That's the Mangini effect.
It's gonna come out. It's gonna.
You know what I mean? Like, you rat on the pass. So you get called out all the time.
As you can see, he's never had a job since then.
That's right. He shouldn't have a job. Man's name is Mangini. Buckini Mangini. Nah, but yeah. So you should have a certain trust. What's the word I'm looking for? Trust circle in your organization that you should be able to tell these things to.
Yeah, and you should. And at this point in your career, you should know better. Yeah. Or you have enough resources to know that shouldn't, to prevent that from happening.
Just make sure you flush your system out in time.
Or just do what we do. Work out and eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That works. All right, and lastly, the Patriots, they had the draft. Questionable draft choices, but it's nothing new with the past. First round pick, they drafted like a center guard from some school, Chattanooga.
Oh, Chattanooga?
Yeah, Chattanooga.
Yeah, that's D1.
Yeah. But they drafted a guy that was projected to go in like the 3rd or 4th round. So they was and they drafted him in the 1st round. But there was like other players that they could have got that was probably more suitable, better.
How many episodes is the NFL draft?
Thursday through Saturday.
Oh.
It's too long for me, to be honest.
I said episodes. It should be one day.
And I liked it when it was 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
That makes sense.
But in the 2nd round, they did get a receiver, a fast receiver. Very fast, a 4.2 40.
But can he catch?
Tyquan Thornton, we're going to find out. But in order to help your young quarterback out, you need to get some receivers. And it doesn't help, and it helps to get someone that's really, really fast. So we'll see how some of these draft picks play out, I should say. But yeah, that center guard that they drafted, I don't know. And then it was also strange because they drafted a guy they traded a guy who was in that same position who's actually good. So I'm just like, okay.
I wish
Pats be doing some weird stuff sometimes.
I wish I knew what they look at when they they pick somebody that's not as good as the guy ahead of.
Yeah, especially a rookie too. It takes a rookie a while to figure it out, especially a rookie offensive lineman.
There has to be some inside information or something.
All right. Also, shout out to the two players, the two former guys from Everett that they got drafted. Lewis Sign, he got drafted to the Vikings.
That's dope. Congrats.
Isaiah Likely, he got drafted to the Ravens.
That's
so
dope.
congrats to those local guys that got drafted in the draft. So
I love how Everett supports their football team, man. Like as a whole, like it's a whole community thing. I'm not gonna get in depth about what they do, but they look out for each other. I'll tell you that.
I'll talk to you a little bit after this. We're gonna go to Craig and No Huddle, and then we're gonna come back. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So here's No Huddle with Craig, and then we're gonna come back.
What up, everybody? Welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, and I'm here to give you the football update of the week. Let's talk about the Patriots draft. A lot of people unhappy with some of the moves that were made by the Patriots. To some degree, I can count myself as one of them, but I believe that you can't judge a draft until the players perform. You know, because here's my thing. In all the years of me watching football, in all the years of me paying attention to the draft, I don't believe there's ever been a year where the Patriots made draft picks and I got super excited about it. You know, we have players that start off as nobodies and become great stars. Like J.C. Jackson, undrafted free agent, shutdown corner, making almost $20 million a year, and then you got first round draft pick N'Keal Harry, great big time prospect, complete and utter dud. So until a player performs, we don't really know what to expect. So let's start off with the first round. Cole Strange, offensive lineman, powerhouse, super aggressive. The ability to move guys out of the way to make holes for the run game, and you know, some people say he could have been drafted in later rounds. But here's my thing: Belichick drafts players based on what specific skill set that he believes he can utilize. So where he drafted him is where he believed he needed to get him, and how will he pan out? I'm not sure, but I will say this: offensive line help is surely needed on the New England Patriots. So how do I feel about this pick? If he is the player that Bill Belichick believed him to be, first round worthy, I am happy about this pick. Second round, Tyquan Thornton, and a wide receiver. Fastest wide receiver in the draft, known for punt and kick returns, speedy wide receiver, can stretch the field. Definitely something longing in the New England Patriots. How is his hands? How is his ability to gain separation? That's what we need to find out, and that's what I'm hoping he can be, is a guy who can get separation, speedy down the field, give Mac Jones a deep threat. Third round, Marcus Jones, DB, more of a slot corner. Not necessarily a deep threat at 5'8", isn't a tall receiver. Contested catches could be a problem, but is a very touted cornerback, and I think will do well on the Patriots offense. Also known for his punt and kick returns as well. Fourth round, Jack Jones, DB. Once again, we do need depth in that position. Losing Stephon Gilmore last year, losing J.C. Jackson this year. Depth is definitely a consideration. Also in the fourth round, Pierre Jr., running back. I don't know if it was him or Kevin Harris, but I believe it was Pierre Strong, was also the fastest running back in the draft. So we got the fastest wide receiver and the fastest running back in the draft. Could be a good early down back to develop. Could be great for special teams. Like a Brandon Bolden type. Very good pass catcher. Extremely fast. Number 4, Bailey Zapp. Made history with touchdown passes in a single season. He's a gunslinger. I don't know how strong his arm is. I believe he is just, to add depth to the quarterback position. Or could he be the next Julian Edelman, drafted as a quarterback, converted into wide receiver for his ability to run routes? In the 6th round, we got Kevin Harris, running back, to add depth. In the 6th round as well, Sam Roberts, defensive lineman, once again adding depth. Chasen Hines, offensive lineman, adding depth, much needed. And then in the final round, Andrew Stuber, also an offensive lineman. So we have a lot of depth in the offensive line. I don't hate this draft, but I definitely want to see how it plays out. So until next week, that's all I have. Back to After the Whistle.
Let's go to Athletes Corner. We have my man James Guy Jr. in the building.
Cito,
he was in here. He'll be going to Bentley College, man. His mom's funny. His mom's funny. Now, because she had texted me, because I texted her, like, trying to get her on. She's like, I'll make sure he gets on. But James Guy Jr., he's going to Bentley University. He talked about he's a 2-time state champion too in football, 2-time back-to-back. But would have been a 3rd if half his teammates didn't go down to other schools and stuff. But he's going to Florida, so check this interview out, and then we're gonna come back. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner, and today we have 2-time state champion, Mr. James Guy. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, you're at that point in your high school career where you just ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
You know how these past couple, how you just able to maintain the next couple of weeks? Because I know once April comes around and that 4th quarter hits, and it's just like, man, it's time to get out of here.
Yeah. For the last couple of weeks, it's been like a slow grind. Been kind of chopping it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Say like the beginning of the quarter, I was kind of ready on pace, cause like turning everything in on time. Now I'm kind of just like, I'm kind of dead right now, so I'm taking it day by day, passing things in. So.
That senioritis.
Yeah, that senioritis.
It's serious, man. I mean, for you, it's been four great years. You know, you guys going back-to-back state championships. Your freshman, was it your sophomore, junior?
Freshman and sophomore.
Your freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
Just talk about this whole process for you, these whole 4 years for playing for St. John's Prep.
So first I want to say it's been a pleasure playing there. Great coaching staff, great everything. It's just they've welcomed me and took me in. But from the beginning, it's been kind of rough. Just like coming in from Lynn, starting as a youth player, and like thinking I have all the talent in the world, to kind of be humbled when I got there, being 3rd string running back as a freshman. I was grateful that I was able to play varsity level, but I was still 3rd string, so it was humbling experience. The coach tried to get me in a couple plays here and there. I ended up playing a lot as a freshman. A lot of freshmen don't play, so just being able to play at the higher level, Division I, also. So it was just great to be there in that experience. So sophomore year, I kind of like stepped it up mentally, and I told myself like this championship didn't really count towards me because I contributed in a way, but like not in the way I wanted to. So sophomore year, I kind of like took it personally and I ran with it. We went back to back that year, so
that make you work harder that off season because you were 3rd string and you were getting in here and there and didn't stay on the field as long as you want to. Did that just ramp up your work ethic for that upcoming season? Yeah,
like that whole summer, I kind of just like put in my mind that I'm gonna be a starter this year. So I worked very hard that summer, off season. I did a lot of training by myself and with coaches and with a lot of different people just to like get better. That year also, guy from college came down, St. John's Prep alumni, Johnny Thomas.
Okay.
He came down and he was teaching me his roots, so it was kind of great to have him there too. It was like to help me bring me up that year.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how many teams have gone back to back. And, just going back to just winning a state title is hard enough.
Yeah.
Winning one is hard enough, but when you go back to back, especially when you're coming off a title, you're getting so many teams' best shots, and so many teams are so when they get up to play you guys. How did the team handle that? Being pretty much public enemy number one whoever you guys played.
Well, basically, we're always number one top shotter. Like everyone wants to take a shot at us, so we always go into every game knowing that every team wants to take a shot at us. Especially after the back-to-back title, everyone's kind of very angry with us.
Yeah.
Especially like top teams, TM, Severian, they were all coming for us. So we just had to play with an edge. That's what Coach always told us, play with an edge and with like grit. That was our word of the year, grit. So.
And you guys play in a conference that that doesn't have no pushovers in the conference too. Did that make the run easier because knowing the competition that you guys play in order to get ready for the postseason, just the teams that the conference puts out?
Yeah, I'd say like it gets us ready mentally because every game is a hard game. So there's like no easy days off, or we can't take a play off, or because that just like it'll get you hurt in the long run. So everything's like 100%. It kind of like made me start thinking more deeply about football because before it was just like you got to do this and like you got to get to the touchdown, you got to run outside or whatever. But now it's like more technical. It's like more deep into it. So like now I see the blockers. I see the play ahead of time before the play even happens.
You got a better understanding of just the mental aspect of football and stuff. And I know as a running back, you kind of have to. You got to be in sync with your linemen as well. Was that something that you kind of grew into that kind of figure, knowing the holes that they were going to open up for you, which way to go or who to go behind and stuff like that? Was that just something that you kind of developed as you got more playing time?
I say towards the end of my sophomore year is kind of when it all clicked. My dad always used to tell me, you got to do this, but I never like really paid attention to what he said. But towards the end of the season, sophomore year, it kind of like all clicked, and like I just see it like before it happens. So like I know which guards are pulling and where the linemen are going. So I kind of just follow their lead. It's kind of like a dance that I'm doing. So if they turn this way, I go that way, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Your senior year was kind of rough because you missed so many games. You had the ankle injury that kept you out for a while. How rough was that just for your senior year for you to miss so many games your senior year in general?
It hurt. It hurt a lot because I know how much of an impact it made on the team that year and like the season itself, but also like I also had trust in my team, knowing that we're a pretty good team, that we can go a long way, and I was just kind of trying to rush back into the season, which is never good because you just end up getting hurt even more than you already are. So I did try to come back, first round of playoffs. And I got hurt again. So it ended up being a longer process, and I didn't end up coming back till Thanksgiving. A week after we lost in the semi-championship.
All right, what's your most memorable, the lasting memory for you at putting on the St. John's Prep jersey?
I'd say Super Bowl. Championship sophomore year. I'll say like the first score that I had that game. It was the first score of the game. We went up 7-0, and it was just like the atmosphere was terrific. It was like a lot of people, so like the energy was just there. It just like overwhelmed me. Well, not overwhelmed me. It just like felt good.
Definitely. Who did you guys beat?
CM.
CM. Both times or?
Yeah, both times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's really good. And you've made your decision. You'll be playing college football at Bentley University out in Waltham. Take me through that process. Of what led you to choose Bentley.
So one, I kind of like fell in love with the campus itself. Kind of remind me of the school I was at now, and plus like the coaches just brought a whole new level to it. They seemed like they were ready to work. They brought me in on days that like kids usually can't come in.
Yeah.
And they like talked to me. I felt really appreciated there. So with all the other schools I was looking at, that was like my top choice because of the atmosphere and the coaches.
What were some of the other schools that had a chance?
So we had Central Connecticut, Southern Connecticut, brain fart.
Yeah.
But there was a couple more.
Oh, okay. All right. And you were very comfortable with that decision for you to go to Bentley. No.
Plus it's business major, so that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Trying to go in for finance and
nice.
from there.
And not too far. And the family could come see you.
Yeah.
It's not too far of a drive for the family.
Yeah, that's what my mom loves, but
Yeah.
not really a fan of this bipolar weather.
Man, who you telling? who you telling? I can't deal with it. But what if y'all don't know? His dad wasn't too shabby of a running back himself back in his day. I mean, have you ever seen any film of his about when he played it?
Yeah, he shows me all the time.
Yeah.
He actually showed me the interview you had with you.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of went over a couple of clips. He was like, "Yeah, look at this. Like, you see how I hit the hole? Boom! Look, I knocked his helmet off. I took that kid to the hospital. I did this, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of better than him in my point of view."
He did say you got two of them and he doesn't have one because there was just that one team that they couldn't beat. Yeah. So you got that over him. All right, man. Before we get out of here, please plug in your social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, all that.
My Twitter is @_JamesGuy, and my Instagram is JamesGuy_Jr. So
give him a follow. Make sure. Yeah. Also, lastly, there's a lot of players that you grew up with, that you played with on the youth level that are going to college themselves to play football. How happy for you as just seeing some of your peers, making that decision to try to go to college and try to play a sport in college, because it's hard. It's hard to do that in general. But how happy are you just to see some of the guys that you grew up with? They're also going, furthering their education and their athletics.
I'm happy for them because from like a young age, like I grew up with them, and just to see everyone kind of grow up into their own person and still continue to play football instead of going out to the street and turning to different things. They stick with football, and I'm just really like appreciative for the sport itself as well, because it takes a lot of people out of negative positions and negative environments. So I love them. I love them, yeah. All
righty, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Best wishes in college. As I tell everybody, the best 4 years of your life. You got to enjoy every moment of it. You guys have been watching Athletes Corner. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back. I want to thank James Guy Jr. for that. Also, if y'all don't know, his daddy was a heck of a running back too.
Yeah, he was.
If y'all don't know, I think he still has the longest running Lynn classical history. I think
One
so.
of them, I mean, JP was nice.
Yeah, JP was nice. It was funny when I talked to JP last summer. I had him on an interview. No, it was during the pandemic. We had him on here, and he was talking about, because I was asking him, how you feel about, your son got two of them, and he was so tight, because it was like the only reason he ain't got two is because one team kept getting in their way.
Oh, Gloucester?
Yeah, and it was always. They'd always lose. That 6-7 game is the one that really killed them. Because I think that 2001 classical team was probably one of the best football teams in the city, in Lynn city history.
Bro, I ain't never go to a classical Gloucester game, but like I felt like every year they play, I'd always ask somebody, yo, yeah, they win tonight? And it was always raining or something, and it was just always an L, bro. Even if it wasn't raining, it felt like it started pouring down once I heard they lost.
They had some bad misfortunes against Classical.
But then the years they beat Gloucester, they lose to somebody else.
Yeah.
So it was like, come on. You for real? Even I'm rooting for y'all. Like, come on.
Oh man, we've had so many great athletes in the city of Lynn, man. Yo, I don't know, man. I think we got all around talent. I think we got the best in the state.
Bro, we're the only city that's divided into like 4 or 5 high schools.
And all of them, and everybody else is fortunate that happened.
And yeah, because we compete against cities that have 1 high school, and we done pissed over them a whole career.
Especially, they lucky hoops they have 1 high school. Everybody's lucky hoops didn't have 1 high school, man. Because if we had 1 high school for basketball, y'all be seeing us on 30 for 30.
Bro, there'd be a new team every year.
It'd be
like a bunch of seniors.
A bunch of seniors.
Every year.
Yeah. They'd be seeing us on 30 for 30. Yeah,
we definitely top 25 in the country.
I ever wonder what so
definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to all those guys, man. Especially my man Will. He always hitting me up. Yeah, that's one of the most genuine dudes. He always hitting me up.
One of the greatest athletes I ever known in my life.
Yeah, he always hit me just randomly, just like, yo, what's going on? How you doing? And all
that's
that
what's
stuff.
up, man. Tell us what up, man.
Yeah, I appreciate people that be just checking in on me. Some sports update real quick. All right. NHL playoffs started Monday. The Bruins lost game 1 of the postseason to the Carolina Hurricanes. You know, they're down 1-0 right now. They are playing tonight at 7 p.m. So, I mean, I know you hate to bring this up, but I know you hate when I bring this up. But, man, we need another Stanley Cup appearance, man. It's been a while.
We do. I mean, I'll be honest. That Carolina game, Bruins had 11 more shots. They lost the face-off 9 more times. And they had 16 penalty minutes to Carolina's 6, bro. What are y'all doing? Be disciplined, please.
They just had a terrible game, but they need to get it together. They need to work that out. So game 2 is tonight. The Bruins down 1-0. Game 2 tonight at 7 p.m. All right. It's trash outside, but the Red Sox won.
Oh, word.
But it's been trash the past couple of days, so you know. They ain't been winning so much, but the Red Sox won last night against the Los Angeles Angels 4-0. I think they got Ohtani coming back on the mound tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, but the Red Sox need this win. They're 10-14 right now, 4th place in the AL East, but it's a long season for baseball, so.
Yeah, it is.
But these early stretches, they gotta win because we need some nice weather out here. Like, damn it.
Yeah, we do, because I'm cold. Today is not my day.
All right. Lastly, before we go, check out this post-game interview from some youth football interviews, and then we gonna come back. All right, fellas, you guys got the shutout today. You know, what was the defensive plan in this game?
The defensive plan was like stop everything up the middle. Like once we stopped everything up the middle, they couldn't do nothing. That's where.
All right, and offensively, got 2 big plays on there. I mean, can you guys just go through me what happened on
our running back, he really got hands. So when he cut that seam, I was real happy. You can see me running down the field going like this, And me, I was wide open over there. So, it was just easy money,
What you see on that play?
So I was just looking at my reads, I usually just look for my best player, throw him the ball, see what he does with the ball. So obviously, I had to look for him. But I saw my running back wide open, gave him the ball.
And lastly,
Kevin Diaz.
How's this team progressing as the season's going on? What are you guys learning about yourselves?
We're starting to get the confidence back. We lost the first 2 games. Getting this win is going to give us a lot of confidence. Hopefully we win till the end of the season.
All right, guys. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, we out of here. Tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. You know where we'll be at. We'll be over there at Stefani's.
Yeah,
come check
visit.
us out.
Come buy us a shot.
You know what I mean? Make sure. Pedro, what fight we got going on this weekend?
Canelo Alvarez against Dimitrius Bivol from Russia.
There you go for you boxing fans. Check that out. That's the voice of the God, Pedro. Also, make sure you go to Lynn Community Television YouTube channel. We will have the King of the Ring Championship Series up on YouTube, up on the up on our website, so please check that out. It will be up. It's about 3 hours of boxing that happened at the Boys and Girls Club for 5 days, but I covered the last day of it, which was this past Saturday. So check that out. There's some, just support these local fighters, these young guys trying to come up that are doing something positive with their lives. Trainers that are doing something positive for these kids. Make sure you go check those out, and we'll be there. And also, once again, happy birthday, Maddie.
Yeah,
Maddie's my homie.
Happy Maddie from Daddy.
Yeah, Maddie, my homie. Who's that? Who's that?
Yeah, that's my baby. So happy birthday, man. Yeah, every time on the phone, you be like, hey, Mook.
Is that Mook?
Yeah, that's Mook.
Also, happy birthday to my cousin Junior. You know what I mean? It's his birthday this week.
Oh, happy birthday, Junior. That's dope.
Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom.
Happy Mother's Day coming up.
Yeah, shout out to all the mamas out there. We love y'all. And, we out of here. We'll see you next week.